What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here on Ascent Sports, and welcome back to more NFL 2019 season predictions for the NFL teams. We just finished the AFC completely. I uploaded all 4 videos of the AFC North, South, East, and West. Not exactly in that order, but kind of close to that. But all those are up, and now we're moving on to the NFC today, starting with the NFC North being the Packers, Bears, Vikings, and Lions. Those are the teams I'll be giving my season predictions on them. NFC North last year, Packers were kind of bad. I think so were the Lions. Vikings, they just missed the playoffs at like 9-6-1, I think. I think they're like, same thing as the Steelers. And the Bears won that division, but had a early exit in the playoffs, even though there were high hopes for them. So that's unfortunate for them. So yeah, let's get into what I think they're gonna do this year. But before we get into it, I just want to say that this is just like my opinion, my attempt at predicting the NFL, which is always probably wrong. So it doesn't really mean anything. It just what most important is how these teams actually play in the actual league this year. I'm having fun predicting them. I'm just, this means really nothing. So there's no really need to get mad at anything. So it just in case if you are angry that I didn't say your team was going well. I sometimes am a moron. So your team might do better than I think, or maybe on the other side, it might do worse than I think. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy this as for what it is, and don't get too mad. So, yeah, with that little disclaimer there, let's get into the NFC North predictions. Alright, the first team I'm going to cover here is the Green Bay Packers. Now, they were kind of disappointing last year. I believe they went as bad as 6-10 maybe, or 6-9-1. Because they tied with the Vikings. So I don't think they did too good. They fired their head coach in the middle of the season. But a lot of people are liking the direction of this team. A lot of people think this team's going to be back this year. I think they're going to improve, but aren't going to be there quite yet. I have them at 8-8. You guys might think this is a bit low. Maybe it is, but I'm not so sure about the Packers yet. That first game at Chicago, the opener at kickoff, I have them losing that, but then I have them beating Minnesota. But then I have them losing to Denver and the Eagles and the Cowboys. Honestly, they probably should beat Denver, but I think the Cowboys and the Eagles are better teams. I have them beating the Lions then, and then the Raiders, and then the Chiefs, Chargers away, good teams. I think they're losing those two. And I also have them losing to Carolina and the 49ers, but I know that's a little bit of a lost streak there. But I have them winning against the Giants, the Redskins, the Bears, and then the Vikings and the Lions. I have them doing very well in their division. I have them going 5-1 in their division, only losing to the Bears once. I have them sweeping the Vikings and Lions. I don't know. No particular reason for that. I just think they're going to do pretty well in the division. And yeah, that goes out to 8-8. Honestly, looking at this, I could see them beating, Denver, maybe Carolina too. But everything else I think is, maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe I think the Vikings could get one on them, possibly the Lions too. So yeah, I think it about evens out to 8-8. So yeah, not quite yet, but just maybe. And who knows, maybe I have these other 3 teams doing very, very bad, and that 8-8 wins the division. Maybe. Moving on to the victors last year, this division. The surprises too, but this is mainly to thank Khalil Mack. The Bears, the Chicago Bears. They do really good. Their defense is really great. Offense, is decent. But yeah, I think this team is still really great. And no, I do not have the Packers winning the division 8. Because the Bears here, I have them. Maybe I'm hyping them up too much, but I have them actually at 13-3. Yes, I really have faith in the Bears, just from what I saw last year and how they did last year. Even though Cody Parkey kind of missed the field goal, so they lost in the playoffs, but I think they're going to be back here, winning that Green Bay, winning Denver, winning Redskins. I do have them losing early on to Minnesota, but then, of course, being Oakland. New Orleans definitely could beat them. That's a game there, but I think the defense is going to step up in these big games, so I have them winning the Saints and the Chargers, too. I like them against the Chargers. I have them winning against the Eagles, the Lions, even the Rams. They beat the Rams last year. And, of course, the Giants. Then on Thanksgiving, I think they're going to lose to the Lions and get super upset there. But win against Dallas, but then lose to Green Bay, and then win against Kansas City, and then Minnesota. So, yeah. It's hard to predict when who's gonna win when good teams play each other. So, they're probably gonna lose one of the following games. That's Saints, Chargers, Chiefs, or the Rams. Honestly, they're probably not gonna go 4-0 in that one, like I have them going here. I'll admit. But when I was figuring this out and looking at all the teams and I just happened to be giving these good teams losses to the Bears. But yeah, it could happen. The defense could really step up and shut down these high-powered offenses. I feel like the Chiefs. I feel like that's definitely gonna happen, and they already showed that they can do that to the Rams. But yeah, they might be losing to the Saints or the Chargers. That may have not gone worked out too well in my prediction, but I'm just gonna stick with it. I actually made these a while ago, so I'm just gonna stick with it just in case it is right, and predicted a while ago. So yeah, I have the Bears still very good, 13-3. Again, this could be more of a best case scenario type of thing for this team, but I'm going with it. I think the Bears are still a good team, great defense too. Alright, moving on to the team that definitely took a step back from 2017 to 2018, and they just missed the playoffs. Very much like my favorite team, the Steelers. The Minnesota Vikings. And honestly, I have them in the exact same situation. Close, but possibly missing the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see how it all works out. But I have them going 9-7, so pretty much the same record. Only there's no tie, because I can't predict ties. I can barely predict actual games. So yeah, I did work out to 9-7. I think they're gonna lose week 1 against the Falcons, and then lose again to the Packers. But then they're gonna win against the Raiders and win against Chicago, upsetting them, and win against the Giants, and then win against the Eagles even. But then they're going to lose to the Detroit Lions, but then go on another winning streak here. Redskins, at Kansas City upset, at Dallas upset, and Denver here. So yeah, looking pretty good, but they're gonna lose at Seattle, but they're gonna get one over on the Lions, but then they're gonna lose to the Chargers, lose to the Packers, and lose to the Bears, and that's just gonna figure out to 9-7. So close, hope, but just not quite yet. Possible wild card though, but just not quite there yet. So yeah, I think this is a very reasonable record for the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe, they could not get one of these upsets I have. Like maybe they lose in Kansas City. Maybe they choke to another team. But yeah, I'm just going with 9-7. I feel like the Vikings are still in that area where they're good, but it's just it just kind of hard for them to make the playoffs, but it's still very much possible. All right, finishing this off with the, probably the least hyped team in this division. Like, I feel like, the Bears coming off a really good season and still pretty good. A lot of people talking about the Packers and the Vikings. They're still like, that like mediocre to good team. But no one's really talking about the Lions. And they're not a terrible team. They're decent, but not quite that good. However, I do have them going 8-8 as well, just like the Packers. I think they're gonna beat Arizona week 1 but lose to the Chargers. And I said this before, for the Dolphins, the Eagles, I have like 2 upsets for the Eagles, 1 for the Dolphins, and I think I'm having 1 for the Lions too here, because there were just a couple games last year. I think it was like a decent amount that I was like, the Eagles should win, but they didn't. So I do think teams have the potential to upset the Eagles, but we'll do NFC South next, so we'll actually see how I have the Eagles going. But I think they're going to upset the Eagles, but they lose to Kansas City, lose at Green Bay, beat Minnesota, beat the Giants, beat Oakland, lose to the Bears, lose to Dallas, win to the Redskins, upset the Bears, but lose to Minnesota, but I'll be able to beat the Buccaneers, but lose in Denver to the Broncos, and lose to the Green Bay Packers, finishing off 8-8. I completely forgot about the divisional thing. The Lions get swept by the Packers, switch off with Minnesota, and even switch off with the Bears. The Vikings get swept by the Green Bay Packers. They switch off with the Bears, and they switch off with the Lions. The Bears, they only lose 1 to the Packers, and the Packers only lose 1 to the Bears. The Bears switch off with each of their divisional rivals too, which actually I have all 3 of their losses being divisional games. But yeah, probably gonna lose one of those big games I talked about. I actually am starting to regret giving the Bears. I kind of want to give them one more loss, but if I do that, it's gonna mess up like the whole thing. So I'm just sticking with these predictions. Like I said, I'm sorry. Don't get too mad at this. Even I'm questioning this now. I actually made these predictions a while ago. I'm just now making videos on them. So yeah, I made these back in I think like May. So yeah, maybe I wasn't all there, but We'll have to see. So yeah, like I said, do not get too mad at this. I am literally just having fun and making videos. I just like talking about the NFL and trying to predict things and see how good I do. Alright, that's my NFC North prediction. I have the Bears winning in this division at 13-3. Not only securing playoffs, but a good case for the first seed. Then we got behind them, we have the 9-7 Vikings, and then we got the 8-8 Packers, and then the 8-8 Lions. So yeah, I have some decent competition in this division. Although the Bears just shoring up there. So yeah, that's what I have for the NFC North. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next time we will be doing the NFC South. So yeah, we're gonna do NFC South, then the West and the East. Same order I did with the AFC, just for NFC. So yeah, that's why we start with the NFC North. At the pace I'm making these videos, I really should be done by the time the NFL starts, and then some. So yeah, I'll probably be good for this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe, no, it's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch of me. Goodbye.